Good evening. Tonight's top story. An underground ring of seagulls are plotting something mischievous. Flocks of seagulls have been spotted gathering in lunch halls, but they're not acting as their usual chip-thieving selves. They seem to have adapted to use human seats and cutlery and are whispering amongst themselves. A bystander reported, and I quote, "It was horrible. You really had to be there to understand how unsettled we all were when they got to dessert and used spoons." And here to help us understand as a community how to approach this issue, we have Feathered Friend Specialist, Dr. F. Einstein. Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening. Well, yes, I think we all know what this means. We need to create tiny little doors in every restaurant so they too can enjoy the culinary experience. Why should we stop them from enjoying something that we too share a passion for?
What do you say to those of us who maybe aren't comfortable with sharing our spaces with these beaked companions?
Well, I say to those people, they're here, they're feathered, and they're not going anywhere. Except in winter, when their mating season's over, because they migrate.
Would you say the seagull species' growing intelligence brings significant ethical dilemmas to our once flightless dining habits?
Any moron concerned with excluding our seaside amigos should be ashamed of themselves. Why should we be threatened by their intelligence? Maybe we can learn from them. Maybe they've discovered how to remove the bones of a sardine. Maybe we should adapt to learn how to eat sardines whole.
What's your favourite bird?
Puffins, because they're cute and they're short kings.
Where does this madness end? I mean, should pigeons be allowed into restaurants? Should robins?
It should never end. Any animal with enough IQ and dexterity to use a Stanley knife should be allowed and welcomed with an open wingspan of 78 centimetres into society. So I am publicly announcing any webbed foot fellows to join me in my kitchen for a lovely meal of beans on toast at 61 Avon Avenue at 10 o'clock. I, for one, am welcoming you to my flock. Squawk!
But what I'm really trying to say here is, would a T-Rex dine with a dodo? I mean, why should we change our ways for a species that doo-dooed on my Toyota Corolla and scratched the paintwork?
I understand you're upset, but I would like to refer to my correspondent, Senor Seagull, who shall calm all of your worries.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Senor, but we have breaking news. NATO has announced a proposed bill of peace with the seagulls, and that's not the only bill in attendance. Dr. F. Einstein, how do you see the seagulls responding to a democratic society?
Well, as you can see by my projections from my research, this is only the beginning. Seagulls' intelligence shall way surpass its simply holding a knife and fork. They'll be holding our future. Most adult seagulls receive 8 or 9s across the board at GCSE level, except in music, as they mainly listen to Doja Cat. Ironic, I know. So how will they respond? Well, I think they will not only dominate the democratic world, but also, you know, the really big blue one that we all live on.
Well said. Hello? Are you... Does this mean they're taking over?
They already have.